After getting your e-commerce shop set up with your Bitcoin payment solution, you might be wondering, well, just what good is Bitcoin to me, especially if I'm not heavily involved in the cryptocurrency community. There's a lot of ways to use your Bitcoin good and to actually be able to pay for some of the services that you need to run your e-commerce shop using Bitcoin. Today I'm going to walk you through a couple of different things. First off, I'm going to show you how you can convert Bitcoin into fiat currency, that's your US dollars, euros, Canadian dollars, etc. Second, I'm going to go over how you can convert your Bitcoin into a so-called stablecoin cryptocurrency. This is a cryptocurrency that is pegged to, for example, a US dollar that keeps it a stable place for your money to be held to avoid price fluctuations in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Third, I'm going to follow up with an overview of some websites where you can use Bitcoin to actually be able to provide infrastructure for your e-commerce site and show you a couple of websites where you can find more such sites for yourself. Stick with me as we walk through here. So as I said, the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to convert your Bitcoin into US dollars or another type of readily used currency. I'm going to be showing you it with Bitstamp. However, there are many other exchanges out there, and especially depending on where you live in the world. Bitstamp is really good for the EU, but also for the US. There's others like Kraken, which are good for the United States, and there's many more that you can find. It's important to find a good exchange, though, that has low fees and allows you to maintain control of your Bitcoin or your money rather than letting them keep control of it. Now, a good rule of thumb is to, yes, convert some of your Bitcoin into US dollars, especially if you need to pay for various expenses that might be related to your e-commerce site. Generally, between 30 and 50% is a not too bad number if you're not heavily invested in the cryptocurrency community. However, keeping a fair amount of Bitcoin in Bitcoin is not the worst idea because the price often goes up. You might make some money as an investment for your funds. As I said, I'm going to show you how to use Bitstamp. Now, in order to go through this process, you'll have to go through a rather lengthy account creation. First off, you start with a standard account creation, but then you're going to have to provide a lot of personal information that is necessary so that Bitstamp can confirm you are who you say you are. So then after you created your account, it might take some time to verify, as I said, because they have to go through and make sure that you are you. After you've done that and your account's been verified by Bitstamp folks, this will be an example of what your account page will look like to start off with. Now, because we're going to be selling our Bitcoin, we're going to want to click on the Make a Crypto Deposit. This means that we'll be putting the amount of cryptocurrency, the amount of Bitcoin that we want to sell off into our Bitstamp account, and then we'll convert it into the currency that we so desire. In order to do that, you can see here that there's an address that you want to send your Bitcoin. So then you will take the address and copy it, and you'll head over to your wallet. Once you get your wallet up, you're going to, depending on the wallet that you use, there should be an option to send money. In the recipient, you'll want to put that address that was given on the Bitstamp website there. Put that in there. And you'll choose the amount of money that you want to send in. So in this case, I'm just going to send over 50 USD. You then choose, if you've got more than one wallet, make sure to choose which one you want to send it from, and then you go ahead and send that off. After the Bitcoin has been deposited into your Bitstamp account, you will then be able to start trading, as you can see here. So when you get to the Bitcoin page, you can click on Sell. In this case, I'm going to be selling into USD, and I'm going to sell all of the Bitcoin that I deposited into the account. I'm going to click on Sell, and it will submit it. You can change the order type if you want to be instant or place it later if you think the price will go up later, but I just went ahead and did instant. You'll also notice the fee down here, 0.5%. Now,
that money was instantly changed into my USD because I chose that option. So I'm going to now have to withdraw the money. Clicked on withdrawal, and there's different type of bank transfers that you can do. For example, with the ACH, with Wire, or if you're in the EU, you can do a rather quick withdrawal using that. And that's it. You have now successfully converted your money from your Bitcoin into a currency of your choice. The second option is to transfer your Bitcoin into a stablecoin. For example, Tether, which is USDT, or something like USDC, the USD coin. And in order to do that, you'll also be using an exchange. But for these transactions, you won't have to enter in as much personal information and confirm your personal information as you did with Bitstamp in exchanging into USD currency. So let's walk through it. I'm on Binance, which is a good exchange for getting stable coins. I'm going to go ahead and register. And then once you've created an account, you'll again have to go through the same deposit system like we did with Bitstamp. So I'm going to click on Deposit Crypto and go through the process of depositing to this address, just like I did with Bitstamp. And once I've deposited the Bitcoin, I can then head over to my spot account, look at the Bitcoin, click on Trade, and find the stable coins down here. So for example, I've got USDC and USDT. Click on one of those, and you'll be taken to a rather, at first glance, complicated looking screen with a lot of what looks like stock market numbers and stuff like that. And it is very similar to the stock market, but in order to trade, you can just come on down here to this sell area and enter in the amount of Bitcoin that you want to sell, and then it will come out with a total here. So for example, if I plugged in 004, will show the amount of Bitcoin that's available. And then you can click on your sell Bitcoin, and it will process the transfer, the exchange, and then just like we had to with the USD, you will then want to go back to your wallet, and you will have to withdraw the USDT into a wallet. Good wallets include Exodus, which will have USDT options in it. There are a couple of other that you can find. And that's it. You've now transferred your Bitcoin into a stable coin. And these stable coins are pegged to something, for example, the US dollar, or in the case of both the Tether and USDC. But it can also be pegged to goods or another type of currency. This means that even though your money is still in cryptocurrency, that cryptocurrency is much more stable, far more stable, when Bitcoin's price might be rising and falling, or other cryptocurrencies' prices might be rising and falling. So that's why it might be a good idea to exchange it into a stable coin if you don't want to exchange it into fiat currency like US dollars. Finally, you don't have to convert your Bitcoin into anything. You can actually just hold on to some of it and even use it to pay for some of the infrastructure needs that you have for your e-commerce site. There are a number of websites out there that accept Bitcoin just like your own shop, and it's not just for e-commerce. There are things like website hosting, consulting, marketing, and even paying for your next trip. One of the best websites to find out sites, and if you're not already listed here, it may not be a good idea for you to list yourself here, is to go to acceptedhere.io. This has a huge collection of companies and businesses that accept Bitcoin. Some of the good ones that you can check out, especially for your e-commerce needs, include NameSilo, which are one of the biggest domain name purchasing websites and hosting, and also SharkServer, which have a number of additional hosting options so that you could run your e-commerce site off of one of these platforms, such as SharkServers or NameSilo, and be able to pay your bills in Bitcoin from the Bitcoin that you're receiving from your customers. Additionally, as I mentioned, there's a lot of other options, including all kinds of things ranging from video gaming, tourist, and traveling websites, including some airlines that have it. And you can even, if you're from a city that has it, you could even get, for example, in Hong Kong, you can even buy flowers using Bitcoin, or, for example, at this website, you could buy quilts using Bitcoin. And so as you can see, there's a lot of options to be able to spend your Bitcoin, including ways that can help fund the infrastructure that you have in running your e-commerce shop.
This means you can avoid a lot of the hassles that go through with exchanging your Bitcoin into USD or Tether. Now, of course, when you have a stable coin such as Tether, you could be using that temporarily just to make sure that you avoid a price crash in Bitcoin, but then, of course, you'll be missing out on those price bumps. And so there you have it. The top 3 ways that you can use your Bitcoin when you set up a Bitcoin payment processor, such as the one that we supply at Blockonomics, onto your e-commerce site. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being an e-commerce merchant who gets paid in Bitcoin.